Let's now cross back to this pop-up vaccination site and the official opening is about to begin. So let's dip into that.
Technologies, Ms. Nchaveni. We have with us our Premier of Gauteng, Ntate Makura. We have our Chairperson of the SABC Board, Ubab Makatini. We have our MEC of Health, Ms. Dr. Mokhechi. And we have with us our Deputy SRC President of Wits University, Ms. Dabula. They will be addressing us this morning and giving short remarks on their experience of today's event.
Thank you, Gugu. Greetings to the Honorable Minister. I also want to greet the Premier of Gauteng and the MEC of Health and all the dignitaries that are here with us. I also want to greet the Group Executive Committee of the SABC, the general public, the youth of this country. And as the SABC, we are very excited about this partnership that today we are launching, the vaccination pop-up center. And it's very critical to really get South Africans to support the initiative by government to get as many South Africans vaccinated as possible. That will get us to a certain level of normality where we can continue with our lives and we can continue with economic activities. The quicker we get to the required herd immunity levels, the better for us. It will bring back stability, it will bring back normality. And we want to call upon all our staff members, all South Africans, students around the SABC, the Auckland Park headquarters, to take advantage of this opportunity and be vaccinated. And as the public broadcaster, we are playing our role to inform, educate and entertain. But during the pandemic period, the key really element of our mandate talks to informing and educating. And we're taking this opportunity to really dedicate all our resources, all our attention to get as many South Africans vaccinated as possible. And we are grateful for the partnership because there is a lot that we can achieve work together in partnership. In this initiative, we've partnered with the Department of Health in Gauteng, and we want to do the same with other provinces so that we can get as many South Africans as possible to get vaccinated. And we want to use our platforms and our channels, radio stations, TV stations to make sure that we spread the information and we get South Africans comfortable and to accept that there is no other alternative. We need to get vaccinated for us to have some level of certainty, some level of stability. And I want to really encourage everyone to take advantage of this opportunity and be vaccinated. And thank you very much. And I want to thank you for the opportunity.
Good morning, South Africa. Today we are at the SABC headquarters at Auckland Park as part of our vaccination drive. I would like to thank the SABC for agreeing that we will bring this vaccination outreach to this important place in Auckland Park. Not only do we have the employees of the SABC, our public broadcaster, with lots of campuses here. We have the University of Johannesburg and the Wits University students also in the neighboring area and the business schools and the other technical colleges. And this is going to be for the next 4 days. If we find that it is necessary to continue with the pop-up site here after the next few days, we will increase. What is our target? Gauteng province has 11 million adults. We want to reach at least 70% of those 11 million adults. Vaccination is really the only way to manage the pandemic. There's already evidence that those who have vaccinated, especially our healthcare workers, were able to sail through the third wave. The third wave was extremely severe, but we had a lot of healthcare workers who who were at work. Unlike during the first wave, a lot of our healthcare workers are the evidence that vaccines do work. Many of them were working, many of them were turning up at work, and they helped us a great deal. Unlike during the first wave, when a lot of them, half of them were actually at one point or the other unable to work. My message is that we need to vaccinate. We have seen the 18-year and above came in strong numbers. We are now vaccinating on average 70,000 people a day. Our target is 100,000 people a day. On Friday, we vaccinated 71,000 people. Saturday, Sunday, we vaccinated together 50,000 people. And then we continued 68,000, 70,000. Just in the last 24 hours, 69,000 people again. The millennials, I want to say to you, you have been responding extremely well. We are also seeing improvement with regard to the men. In the last few days, there are more men who are responding. Again, we want to vaccinate everybody. We are collaborating with various sectors, the religious sector, the private sector. We are also going to various clusters of industry. But the collaboration with the media houses is also great. So come to the SABC for your vaccination. Take your jab. You will be much, much safer when you have vaccinated. There's really no excuse. The wise decision is that when you have taken your jab, the more people we vaccinate, we want to open more sectors of the economy, including sports and the entertainment industry. So we want to call on you to join us. It's very easy here. We have already vaccinated 50 people since 7 o'clock this morning. It's very, very easy. Particularly students, we want you here. And come one, come all. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna leave this here. Good morning to our people in our province. We are here at SABC Gate 4, their parking lot. Things are happening here. We are here to, we have just launched a pop-up site where it's a combination of walk-ins and drive-through. As you can see behind me, things are really happening. And for those who are still thinking, can I come, whether should I take the vaccine or not, I'm urging you to come because it is safe to do that. I have also taken my vaccine. And to show that the vaccine really works, our healthcare workers during the third wave, we had a very minimal number of healthcare workers that contracted the virus. And when you are vaccinated, you are safe, your family is safe, your healthcare workers are safe. And I would also want to thank all our partners because they have taken an initiative to open their sites, and their sites are also taking up quite a number of people per day. I'm also want to thank all the young people because after we have opened for the young people, we saw young people coming with the elderly people because we had a challenge at some point when we started. There was quite a high number of elderly that were coming, and at some point we saw them no longer coming. But when we opened for the young people, we saw them coming with their elderly people. So we urge our community, we urge our partners that let's hold hands together and make sure that our community in Gauteng is safe, because when you have taken the vaccination, you are safe and we can be able to open our economy and avoid those lockdowns. So I'm urging our people in our province to come and make sure that they are vaccinating. We will be opening up a number of these pop-up sites. We are now taking the vaccine to our communities. So you don't have a reason at home, just make sure that you make time to pop in our pop-up site at the vaccination site in the SABC parking lot. As you can see, a lot of people are coming through. Thank you very much.
Good morning, fellow South Africans, and greetings to young people in particular. I am Sthembiso Dabula, the Vets SRC Deputy President. I am here to call on young people to come and vaccinate. Beginning of the year, we were calling for one student, one room because of the effects of COVID. Do it for your roommate. Make sure that you get vaccinated so that you don't spread COVID easily. Do it for the people at home, your grandmothers and your mothers, to protect them from this COVID. I'm trying to encourage you to come and vaccinate, not only because you are young, but because you have prelims to write, you have examinations to write, and you need to be present in every institution to write your exams. And for you to write your exams, you need to be vaccinated to protect the people you'll be writing with. This is a call to young people who are unemployed. You need to be vaccinated for you to be able to go out and be able to hustle. COVID has cost us a lot, and we can't now, when we have an opportunity to vaccinate, allow ourselves for this opportunity to slip our hands. Thank you.
Good morning. As part of the public broadcaster mandate is to make sure that we encourage community participation and promote national interests. So I am happy that the SABC has partnered with the Department of Health and the provincial government of Gauteng to make sure that we encourage vaccination, we dispel the myth around anti-vaccination, but we get our young people to be vaccinated because it's in the national interest. As a country, we are chasing to have our population vaccinated at least by December to have reached 40 million. We are currently sitting at just above 11 million vaccinated people, and we do not have much time getting to the 40 million, which is necessary for the herd immunity. So we are appreciating that the University of Johannesburg and University of Witwatersrand, and led by their SRCs, have partnered with the SABC, the Gauteng government, and the Department of Health to get the young people, the 18 plus, to be vaccinated. AMA 2000, like in 1976, the young ones are taking the responsibility of leading the protection of the country and fighting for the right of the country. It is important that we vaccinate as South Africans because we are going to get to the third wave, to the fourth wave, if we are not fully vaccinated and we don't have herd immunity. And the fourth wave is bad because it's going to have a negative impact on the economy. Yesterday, statistics came out to say we are the leading country in the world in terms of unemployment rate. And the more we close the economy down to protect lives, it will require that more unemployment will be experienced in the country. So we are pleading to South Africans to go and vaccinate wherever they are, but for the SABC to continue to play its role of informing the nation and encouraging community participating by making sure that all our radio stations, all our TV stations encourage people to go and vaccinate. And this pop-up site is just one of those examples of where the SABC, as a public broadcaster, 85 years later, still performs its role of keeping the nation informed, but also getting the nation protected, but also advancing the national interest. Secondly, the vaccination has helped us. Today, as we speak, as we launch the site, over 80,000 lives have been lost. They are not statistics, they are our friends, they are our parents, they are our siblings, they are our neighbors. But by vaccinating, we make sure that we minimize the possibility of death and also the possibility of hospitalization. So it's important that we vaccinate as a people. And vaccination has been happening in this country through our immunization program. So it's not new for us to be vaccinating. We have been immunizing throughout our lives as kids between the ages of from 7 days up to 24 months, and again when you are 7 years old and 12 years old. These vaccines have been made the same way as those for the immunization for polio. And what's interesting, we just heard today that they are finalizing the possibility of vaccinating against malaria, and that was possible by the science that has progressed to make sure that we could vaccinate against COVID-19, and therefore there's a possibility for us to find vaccinations against malaria that kills a lot of people in this continent of ours in Africa. So as a minister responsible for the SABC and broadcasting in the country, we want to use the platforms to encourage South Africans to vaccinate and to use this platform to pass facts and dispel fake news and distortions of information about the reality of vaccination programs, but any other reality, because our mandate and our responsibility is to make sure that we've got objective news out there and we've got fake news out there. And as we close this function, as we open the launch, we are saying to the 35 plus, the national breadwinners, the national group, you cannot be led by your children and your siblings. You must take the responsible, because you are majority in the employment sector. We need you fully vaccinated, like what you did when you broke the record of the largest registration on first day in the 24 hours. We want you to come back and make sure that the 12 million of you are vaccinated. We are also counting on the AMA 2000, the peoples of AMA Piano, to make sure that you are vaccinated, because we need you. You are the future, and you can only be the future if you are responsible and if you can be sure that we can entrust our country in your hands. And you have shown us that you are responsible, and we have seen you in queues, but we want you to do more. And the people of Melville, Braxton, West Dean and Auckland Park in general, we are inviting you for the next 4 days to come to the SABC site and vaccinate. You want to drive through, there's a drive through. You want to just walk in, there's a walk in. And it doesn't take you longer, it's maximum 35 minutes. If you're afraid of needles, you look away for a second, half a second, it's done, and you are done. And thank you very much. Let's vaccinate. It saves lives, it saves livelihoods, and it protects our nation and protects the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all our dignitaries for those short remarks, and you've heard them all. Absolutely, get yourself vaccinated. It is in your proximity. We are close by to the universities, and we are actually close to the public transport as well on the road. So get yourself to the SABC Auckland Park and get yourself vaccinated. Thank you, South Africa.
It's the now official launch. We're already seeing it open. We've seen people coming through, many in their numbers coming through, getting vaccinated here this morning at the SABC. But you can hear the plea from both those that are here in charge, of course, the communications minister and many others coming through and just asking South Africans to come through, get vaccinated. At this point, you know, the government basically saying that this is the tool that they have to start opening up the economy. A great fear that, you know, with threats of a fourth wave and also just looking around with experience around what's going on in the rest of the world in terms of new variants and things happening, that we need to open up the economy. And after seeing how our unemployment rate is looking, any more threats to closing down economies is going to be absolutely devastating. So these are just some of the messages that were put through, and particularly trying to lure a lot of the students in the area, because you know that there is Wits University on the one side and the University of Johannesburg on the other, and it's surrounded by all of the different student accommodations that are here in this particular area. So just urging them to come through, get vaccinated, and it's a very, very quick process. So anyway, this is happening all the way through today until 4 o'clock, again tomorrow 8 until 4, and again on Saturday 8 until 4. So I know that all the programs here on SABC News will be dipping in and out to see what it's like out there and how many people have actually come through. It'll be interesting to do a tally at the end of it to see how many individuals actually do come through and get vaccinated at this particular pop-up vaccination site there. So yeah, it's been an interesting one and a pleasure being with you this morning, and thanks so much to everybody as well that have been sending their comments through as to, what the hesitancy is all about. And I think that we, again, need to speak a bit more about the hesitancy and raise some of those issues with the experts that can perhaps bring you some answers, because you deserve those answers and you deserve all of the information that you need before you get that vaccination. Thanks for watching. See you again bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye-bye.